Bluetooth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the perfectly enlightened one. Today I am going to introduce Vipassana meditation, the fifth part. Before I introduce where we stop from the place where I am going to introduce the other section of the insight meditation, I again remind you about the practice. Those who prefer to do breathing meditation, when they breathe in, breathe out, say mentally. When they breathe in, say 1. Breathe in and breathe out, say 1. Breathe in and breathe out, say 2. Breathe in and breathe out, say 3. Start from 1 again. Those who would like to notice the rising and falling of the abdomen, just notice the abdomen with mentally, just notice that place. When the abdomen rises, say rising. When it falls, say falling. Rising, falling. Rising, falling. While noticing rising and falling, if we happen to experience pain, just notice that place, say paining, 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 until the pain goes off completely and come back to the rising and falling. Do not stretch your legs. Stay still. At least try to practice more than a half an hour without moving. Don't stretch your legs. If the pain arises, notice that place and say paining, paining, paining until the pain goes off completely and come back to breathing again. Come back to the rising and falling or the breathing meditation. If you happen to experience thoughts like wandering mind, if the mind wanders, say wandering, 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 come back to rising and falling of the abdomen. If you are thinking, say thinking, 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 come back to the rising and falling of the abdomen. If you have desire, say desire, 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 come back to the rising and falling of the abdomen. Whatever thoughts that arise, notice that thought twice or thrice and come back to the rising and falling of the abdomen. If you happen to experience the sudden distraction, sounds, just notice, saying mentally, hearing, 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 and come back to rising and falling of the abdomen. You can do sitting meditation, standing meditation, walking meditation, and lying down meditation. When you want to do standing meditation, stand still. Be aware of the contact of your feet with open eyes. Be aware of your breathing or whatever thoughts that arise and pass away, or any bodily sensations. If you want to do lying down meditation, lie down. But better to keep your hand like this. It will prevent you from falling asleep. And you can be aware of the contact of the body. You can notice the rising and falling of the abdomen or the breathing, or whatever rising and passing thoughts. If you want to do walking meditation, for the beginners they can do left, right. Be aware somewhere around the feet, the left foot, and with open eyes, when you walk, say left, right. So left, right. Gradually you can increase up to lifting, keeping, lifting, moving, keeping. When you go near a wall, when you stop there, say stopping, stopping, stopping. Turn your foot, right foot to the rightwards, say turning, the other one you turn, the left foot you turning. So you say turning, you will be turned towards the other way again, and you can do walking meditation again. If you want to do, if you want to be aware of your movements, of the bodily movements, for example, if you have to take a glass of water, when you move your hand, just be aware. Hold the glass and bring it slowly. When you are drinking, be aware of hot and cold sensations. When you are bathing, be aware of hot and cold sensations. When you are eating, be aware of sweet and sour taste. When you are drinking, be aware of hot and cold sensations. It's very easy, only to bring the mind to the present moment. Now we start from the place where we stop. So when you improve your insight meditation up to a certain level, you reach the level of knowledge of arising and passing away and the 10 corruptions. In Sinhala language is called Udayavaya Jnana, Jnana Saha Dasavida Upaklesha. Here why they call it corruptions, it is not bad, but it hinders the progress of your insight. Because you are beginning to visualize so many things. If you get attached, you get late to go further. You just hold on to those things and your practice will gradually slow down. So whatever these factors that you come to experience, just notice them, notice all these conditions and let go. Now I am going to explain from this point. At this level, the thoughts will arise and passing away so rapidly, and the meditator will not miss to notice any of them. So all the thoughts will arise and pass away so rapidly that you will be able to notice all these very easily. He will see the objects are rising and passing away like lightning speed. He will experience that his body muscles are moving. He will also feel as the water sprinkling all over his body. But whatever that occurs, he could notice all these occurrences so clearly and rapidly. So you will feel like as if the water is sprinkling all over the body. But you can notice it very clearly. Your muscles will body muscles will start to move. Don't be afraid, just be aware of that. They will just gradually pass away. He could even notice whatever thought that he missed. So, whatever that thought that he thinks the meditator missed, that he will not miss it, he will be able to notice each and every thought. At this point, the meditator feels he could even notice even the raindrops, because your mind works in a lightning speed, very, very fast, not like the ordinary way. At this point, you feel is so rapidly working that you will be able to notice whatever that come across. He could even notice the very intention of any action before he performs. For example, when you want to move your hand, it does not move if you don't think it. But when you practice vipassana meditation, insight meditation, you'll be able to notice the thought. There is a thought arise that you want to lift your hand, then the hand moves upwards. If there is no thought arise, hand will not go. You are beginning to see these two things very clearly. He could even mentally visualize the thousands of tiny body particles moving on his back. The meditator at this point will be able to notice millions of particles of his back is moving, not with this eye, to the third eye that you'll be able to see. At this level, there will be severe pain as if pinching needles on his body. At this level, so many pains will occur as if somebody is piercing nails through your body. He will experience sudden shaky movements of his body and a certain fearful feelings. You will feel like sudden shakes and certain unknown fearful feelings. But don't get discouraged. Whatever that comes, be aware, they will gradually pass away. He will come to know that he never understood these impermanent conditions before, but now having experienced by all these shaky and rising and passing conditions of the mind and body processes by himself, he comprehends the impermanent nature of his mind and body. So because of all this experience, shaky movement, rapid rising and passing thoughts, that he will gradually understand all these things are impermanent. It's the impermanent nature. And the thoughts rapidly arise and they pass away. Feelings arise, pass away. Sounds arise, pass away. Nothing stays permanent. He will come to know there is nothing. There is nothing to be happy here. And the whole, this body and the mind is as if a mass of suffering. Number 20. And that he could not control this impermanent nature, and that they are not self, I, or ego. That he will feel that all these things are rapidly arising and passing away. He could not control. He has no power to control. There is no such a call, I, ego, or soul here. He feels like explaining things, his experience to his friends, who praised so highly nature of this body and mind, and make them understand that their thinking was wrong. So he feels at this point that this impermanent nature of this condition, and he feels like explaining to his friends who are very much attached to all these things, that he wants to explain, he feels like explaining that these things are just impermanent things, there is nothing permanent. he thinks at this moment that even his teacher must not have experienced such conditions like him. At this point, the meditator thinks, oh, I am experiencing such a great things. My teacher must not have experienced these things. And he thinks like that at this level. When focused on hearing a sound of a bird, he experiences as a series of crying sounds, such as ka, ka, ka. So when a crow cries, he will hear ka, 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 ka. It's not a one sound. So the fractions of the sound he will beginning to understand. He feels as if someone is showing these happenings by one's own hand. All these experiences that it becomes so crystal clear, as if someone is showing things to him, that one at this level he understands those things, those happenings rapidly arising and passing, thoughts, feelings, sounds, very clearly, crystal clear. Now at this point there will be powerful light, a mental light will appear. It is in Pali language called obhasa. Some meditators experience mental visions at this level, such as a brilliant light. A brilliant light will appear. You can even feel that the hot sensation of the light. On seeing these mental visions, they become so happy. Even when they notice these visions, they do not disappear. When they try to notice, say, seen, 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 they don't disappear. Sometimes it lasts longer. So some meditators get attached to these visions and keep looking at it. And then that is why it is called corruption, that it hinders the progress of insight. We have to notice these things and go further in order to realize nirvana or the higher attainment. When the meditator sits in a room, this mental light was spreading all over the room. When he sits in a room in the night, he can see that this light fills the whole room. He can visualize. He could even see his body with that light. With that light he can even see his body, even the body hair, even the tiny dust particles on the body, he could mentally visualize, as if that you're using a magnifying glass. You can visualize very tiny dust particles on your body. It penetrates the walls of the room, and he could even see the outside garden, and he could see all the outside objects very clearly. In the night, he will, at this level, he beginning to see outside garden, as if the walls of the room disappear. As if he is sitting outside in the garden, he is beginning to see the garden with that light. He could even recognize outside objects like flower plants, whatever, flower pots, whatever outside, whatever that there are things that he could see this very clearly. Sometimes if he notices these objects for several times, they do not disappear. In the night he could even see his body, arms and fingers, body hair, and even the tiny sand pebbles on his body. So in the night he could see his arms, nails, the whole very tiny particles of the body very clearly. In the night he sees the windows and doors of his room are open, but when he checks them, he finds they are already closed. So in the night, when he is meditating with the closed doors and windows, he feels they are open. He beginning to see outside. So he gets up and go and touch and see, but they are closed. The doors are closed, windows are closed, but still we visualize outside. Some meditators visualize these metal lights like a light of a flashlight. For some, it looks like a light of a car. Some sees a light in front of their faces and reflects very far. Some sees in front of them as a huge light moving. Some sees as the appearance of a moonlight on his room, in his room. For some sees the light as if emitting from the heart. For some sees the light seems to come from the front and back. Some meditators do not want the mental light to go away. So some meditators, each and every meditator see these different way of life. Some sees the light is coming from back. So some sees like a flashlight, some sees like a sunlight, some sees like a flash. So various, some sees like a big moon in front of you, some sees like a big flashlight focusing on your face, and you see kind of, you can even feel the hot sensations. You could even see underground, miles and miles you can see underground. You could sometimes in the night, you could visualize the light spreads miles and miles upwards. Sometimes some meditators could see that one is the ocean is lying on the ocean bed and looking upwards, and the water is moving, and beyond that there's a sunlight have fallen on the water, the sea water is moving, and above him huge fish are swimming here and there. So these things, they come, they appear, stays for a few minutes, few seconds, and they gradually disappear if one notices. If one get attached, these lights will stay longer. Then at this point, a rapture, a kind of a rapture, kind of a happy sensations arise. They are known as Kuddaka Piti, minor rapture, Kanika Piti, momentary rapture, Okkantika Piti, elevating rapture, Ubbega Piti, elation rapture, Parana Piti, pervading rapture. The word piti, rapture, the meditator will experience 5 kinds of rapture at this level. This rapture, the word rapture, the happiness here is not the happiness like that you become happy or something that you receive a gift and you become happy, or you come across your friend, you become happy, or you go to a party that you become happy. It's not that. This rapture is thousands and thousands times higher than the happiness that you enjoy right now. So it is very hard to put into words. You have to practice and experience it. Then you will understand what I explained here. Don't believe just because I told you. Don't believe just because I read this. Practice it and experience yourself. So tomorrow I will explain the five kinds of rapture tomorrow. So at this point we stop. So thanks for listening. Let us wish all the world, people, all beings, may all beings be free from all illnesses. May the entire world be filled with love and peace. I thank you for listening.